Welcome to week 7 of the Sunshine Cow. First of all, let me just apologize for my slightly croaky voice. I do have a cold. Last week we worked the final rounds of the pattern, which was rows 57 to 61, and your total stitch count is now 200 half double crochets per side, and this includes your 2 in each corner. This week we'll finish off our blanket by adding in the border. All that remains in this cowl is adding our centerpiece, which we will complete over the remaining 2 weeks. What an incredible journey it has been to date. Over 4,000 people following the Sunshine Cowl on Facebook. Thank you to Vanessa for her brilliant pattern and for bringing us all together in this spectacular fashion. I can't believe we're almost at the end. Moving on to the first round of the border. It is pretty straightforward. We're going to join with a single crochet in any of our corner chain spaces. As usual, I'm using a standing single crochet, 2 chains, and another single crochet. Now we're going to do back post single crochets into the next 200 stitches to our next corner. A lot of you don't enjoy doing back post single crochets, but they do give us a lovely edge and some wonderful overlay texture to our blankets. So working around the first of our posts from the previous row. This one's always a little bit tricky, the first one. Pull up a loop and pull through 2. Go through your next loop, pull up and through 2. Continue in this manner until you reach the next corner, and then repeat this 3 times. In other words, do your single crochet, 2 chain, single crochet, 2 back post single crochets until you're back at your starting point over here. Join with your preferred joining method, fasten off, and I will see you for Borde Round 2. We're now going to start our Borde Round 2, and this is the same as the previous round. So going to any of your corner 2 chain spaces, start by making a single crochet, 2 chains and a single crochet. Now we're going to do a back post single crochet around the first stitch. Again, just a little bit tricky, that first one. It's got a bit of split there, and through. And around the next one and pull it through. This is a little bit tricky until you get into the rhythm of it. So we're going to continue doing this, and we will repeat each of the sides until we get to the end here. Continue doing your back post single crochet all the way to the next corner, and then again 1 single crochet, 2 chain, 1 single crochet. When you get to the end of the round, please join and fasten off and get ready for round 3. I've now completed Borde Round 2, and I have joined, and I'm ready to start Borde Round 3. Please check that your stitch count for the last round is 204 stitches, and that will include your 1 stitch on each corner. The next 3 rounds will all be worked in the same color. Obviously not mandatory, but according to Vanessa's pattern, that's the way she's done it, and I'm going to follow that. So we're going to start again with a single crochet, 2 chain, and a single crochet in any of your corner from the previous round. Then into the first single crochet, back post single crochet of the previous round, we're going to do a back post single crochet. We're going to do 204 of these back post single crochets. We'll then land up with a stitch count on each side of 206. The 206 will include the one in each corner. When you get to the next corner, continue in the same way. 1 single crochet, 2 chain, 1 single crochet, 204 back post single crochets, and do this until you're all the way back at your starting point. Don't fasten off, join with a slip stitch, and I will catch up with you then. Now I've finished the border round 3, and I have joined with a slip stitch into my first stitch of this row. I'm now going to slip stitch into the corner, and then I'm going to do 2 chains which are going to form my first double crochet. Another double crochet into the same corner space, 2 chains, and further 2 double crochets into that corner. Okay, now we're going to start with V-stitches all the way along this edge. We need to end up with 68 V-stitches in total. So we're going to skip the first 2 stitches. Remember to count the hidden stitch, 1, 2, and into the third stitch we're going to do a V. The V-stitch is simply a double crochet, 1 chain and a double crochet. You've done this before in this particular cowl, so it's not a new stitch. Skip 2 into the third stitch, 1 double crochet, 1 chain, 1 double crochet. Continue until you get to just before the next corner, and I've now done my 68 V-stitches along the first side of this round, and now you should have 2 stitches left, and then we're going to work 2 double crochet, 2 chain, 2 double crochet into the corner space. Now again, skipping the first 2 stitches, bearing in mind that you're going to skip your hidden stitch, 1, 2, and continue with your V-stitch. Skip 2 and V-stitch. Again, you're going to do 68, and when you get to the next corner you should have 2 stitches left, and then do your corner, 2 double crochets, 2 chain, 2 double crochets, and continue until the round is completed. Join with a slip stitch, but don't fasten off. And now at the end of border round 4, I beg your pardon, and I have joined with a slip stitch into that first stitch. I'm now going to slip stitch to the first corner. Into this corner we are going to make a set of 5 double crochets, a picot, and 5 double crochets. Our first double crochet is going to be 2 chains, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. I have gone down half a hook size on this row because it is a very dense row. There's a lot of stitches, and I just feel that it's going to help to keep the work from becoming a bit wavy. I'm then going to do my picot. This consists of 3 chains, 1, 2, 3. Then working back into those 2 stitches there, pull through. See how I'm holding it just to keep it nice and firm, and picot made. And then another 5 double crochets into this corner, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just have a look at that. So into our corner we have done 2, 4, 5 double crochets, a nice little picot, and 5 double crochets. Your corner sets of picot sets are going to be slightly different to the ones on the side, so just bear that in mind. In the corners you're going to have 5 picot and then 5 double crochets. We're now going to work into the space between the 2 double crochets in the corner of the previous row. So straight after that last double crochet of this row, miss that one, and into this space do a single crochet. Now into the 1 chain space from the next V stitch, we're going to work 4 double crochets, a picot and 4 double crochets. So let's do that. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 double crochets. Got that? Picot. 1, 2, 3. When you're working your picot, come back and slip through the 2 stitches there, and then pull through a slip stitch through all of those stitches. It'll be a little bit tricky, but once you get used to it, it's reasonably easy. And then another 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, then between each of these picot sets we're going to anchor it into 1 chain space that's between in the next V of the previous row. So you'll have a picot, a single crochet, picot, single crochet all the way along. So let's work all the way to the other corner. You should have 34 of these picot and 1 single crochet sets. I'll see you at the next corner. Now done the 34 picot clusters, and I have finished off with a single crochet in that last V stitch on this side. Now remember what I said is that the corner picot is slightly different in that it has 5 double crochets on either side of the picot. So let's do that. That's 2, 4 and 5. 3 chain to create our picot. Work back into the top of those 2 stitches there and pull through the slip stitch. 5 more double crochets to that corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if you remember at the beginning of the first side that we did, we had to do a slight stitch correction by working our first double crochet between the first and second double crochets of the previous row's corner. So like that. This is just so that it works out properly along the edge leading up to the next corner. Okay, now we're going to work the next picot cluster into there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 only because it's not a corner. 1, 2, 3 chains to form the picot, and then slip it into those 2 little stitches there to anchor it nice and firmly. Oops, and pull it through 2, and again we're going to do another 4 double crochets back into that same 1 chain space from that V stitch in the previous row. Just count, I've got 4. And then a single crochet into the next V stitch like that. And so don't forget when you get to the next corner that you've got this little stitch anomaly there where you've got to work between those 2 stitches before you start off with your picot cluster, 1 single crochet, and then it should work out perfectly to the next corner. When you get to the end of this round, please join using your preferred method and fasten off, and then sew away all the ends that might still need sewing away. And that is the end of the border of the Sunshine Owl cowl. The next 2 weeks will be focused on creating the owl, which goes in the center of the blanket. I suggest at this point that you block your work. I will do a separate video showing how I'm going to block my work, just for those of you who are not familiar with the blocking concept. I will see you soon.